Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gotham City, or welcome to, rather, Gotham City, as we get ready to play Batman, the animated series, Gotham Under Siege. And this is a cooperative game for 2 to 4 players, or 1 to 4 players, because you can always play a cooperative game single-handedly, which we're going to do today. But we're going to be playing with a few different characters, and I wanted to show you the board setup right here. It's not a traditional board by any stretch, and the way the game plays is not completely traditional. But what you do is you have these city block tiles that go out, and you have these little buildings that sit on top of them, because our heroes can actually go across the rooftops, which Batman is able to do. And in this game now, I've seen the playthroughs of this, and I really wanted to play one of the characters, but I chose not to because he's been in so many other ones. Now, I figured you've got to play Batman in a Batman-based game, so we're going to definitely do that. And I have most of the setup done, but there's still some things in setup that we need to do. And the first one is so basically you get the game set up to a certain point, and then you stop and go into what would be normally phase 1, which is the act phase. Now in that phase you skip a couple of steps because it's the first time doing it, and you kind of jump down to the hero planning step. So normally you would go, you do the advanced acts, which is replacing everything that was from the last round. Then you place this, the act leader. But in the first turn, if you have Batman in the game, it always goes to Batman, and we do. So that's the first thing that happens. So the next thing that happens in that is we're going to get some skill cards. But first, I think I want to talk about our characters and tell you a little bit about the mechanics. It's a dice rolling game, or dice placement game, where you're trying to save Gotham City from destruction, and there's various things that can happen over 4 acts, or 3 acts, I think. No, it's 4. And during that time, we're trying to not lose, basically, and we lose in certain ways by having one of our heroes killed, I believe. Yeah, our defeat is the explosion token, or the citizen track goes to 0 on the Gotham City track. That Gotham City track is right there. Or you have a hero on the wounded side become dead. There's 2 sides. You only get hit twice in this game. There's this side and then the wounded side. There's some ways to get to the wounded side again, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I think since we have to do the next part of the setup, which includes some skill cards for the heroes, let's just go take a look at these heroes and see what they're going to do, and I'll kind of explain how the dice mechanic works. So here is Batman. And this is his mini right here. Of course, I wish I could paint all these minis, but I just never have the time. You see he's got a couple of tokens here. These are for a really special ability that he has. And he's also got a deck of skill cards. So each of the characters are completely unique in this. All of these abilities are completely different, which is kind of cool. So we got Batman here. His main thing is, I am Batman. It says when performing a heroic defense. And that means after we've taken our actions, we can choose to defend heroically certain parts of the city where there's still enemies and defeat them. It says you may re-roll your attack die 1 time. So we'll see heroic defense when it gets back to I think that's the end part of the second phase or something. No, the crisis phase. Phase 3 is when you do your heroic defense. And so basically that's his special, is unique. One of the unique things to him that's always around. See, it says Batman rolls 4 blue dice. So for example, we'd roll these 4. That's not a bad roll actually, but then we'd be able to place these things down. There's a way to mitigate the dice and change their values. You can see he's got swinging attack. It says when activated by placing a die. I'm not going to read all of them. We'll see them as we play, but I just want to give you an idea. We can add a die, and it's going to add 7 to it. And it says when activated by placing a die, Batman must move to any battlefield, defeating the highest villain there. The Batman does 8 damage to villains on his battlefield. So a battlefield is one of the cardinal points on each side of the city. So north, south, east, and west is a battlefield. There will be enemies on those battlefields in the form of like a nemesis, like bad enemies, like the main enemies, like what else? What could I think of? Bane, Joker, Poison Ivy. I don't think Joker. I think he's a mastermind, one of the bigger ones. Oh, they're called masterminds. Yeah. The Clock King, the Red Claw, Two-Face. All those folks, all those baddies, right? Could be there too. So that's those are the types. And then there's enemies like thugs and ninjas and stuff too. We'll get to that, but you get the idea. So we're going to place dice down on these various things and use these abilities and try and coordinate with our other players to do that. We also have a set of cards here. And this is the thing, first thing we have to do is shuffle them up. We're going to draw 2, and then we're going to pick one as our active ability this turn. So we draw 2, and we get this. Guardians of Gotham, you may either give 1 bonus die or two different heroes, or move the citizen token 1 space to the right on Gotham. See, that's a really good one. Support from Alfred Pennyworth. Can't be bad there, right? Each time you play a 6 die, gain 1 bat signal point. Ooh, I like that. Bat signal points allow us to modify our dice. Currently we have +1 or -1, but currently we have only 2 bat signal points. These are both exceptional. Since the beginning of the game, the bonus dice are valuable. We have other ways to get those. I think I'm going to do that one, so we'll put that back in the deck. And our active ability this turn is going to be support from Alfred Pennyworth. So the next hero we're going to have is Robin. I think Batman, Robin, got to do it that way, right? Similar thing, you can see now, I didn't tell you about the Batman's token ability right here. It's his Batarang. It says throw Batarang once per activation. Hero step, Batman may discard one of his tokens to throw his Batarang, ricocheting it around the battlefield, defeating the highest ranked villain on each battlefield, including his own. So that's really powerful. That means all battlefields, it's all the 4 cardinal points. It's pretty cool. And you'll see why that's important later, but that's his token abilities. He's only got 2 of those. There are some ways to get them back, but it's not that easy. Okay, but next up we have Robin. Now Robin's base ability is Loyal Sidekick. It says once each die roll, Robin may freely move to the battlefield of any hero or the rooftops if a hero is there. The rooftops are a special case to enable that hero to flip one of their dice. That means they can change it from a 1 to a 6 or whatever, flip it over to the other side. So that's his base ability. He gets 4 red dice. So again, we roll those dice during the... That's another good roll, man. I hope I keep rolling like that. He's got Timely Equip as his special. It says once per activation hero step, Robin may discard one of his tokens to place a bonus die matching the number of a die just placed on a story card. So that means that's pretty cool abilities too. Plus he's got whirling kicks, double team attack, and somersault attack. So he's got all these things we're going to be doing during the turn, but as you know, he's got to pick 2 cards as well. Okay, so let's take a look at his cards and see what we get here. Let's shuffle them up nicely because I don't know that I did. There's one. We'll just cut it again and draw another one and see what 2 cards he gets and which one we're going to play with him. He's got Robin's Rage, add +2 to each of Robin's attacks. I kind of like that. And destruction rolls for villains on Robin's battlefield. You'll see what that means. He may not be on the rooftops during this crisis phase. Only succeed on a 1 to 3. That's pretty good. That means destruction of buildings. Now, I got on Batman. You can place a 6 there. If you were on the rooftops, place a 6 die on this card to defeat all rank 1 villains in your battlefield. Huh. Kind of dig Robin's Rage. I think we're going to do that one. Okay, so there's Robin. We're going to use Robin's Rage. He's pissed off. Dick Grayson. I think this is Dick Grayson Robin, I think. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. And then our last hero is going to be Batgirl. And here's her mini right there. Her special is 6 cents. In each act phase, you may choose to discard the first act setup card drawn, then redraw a replacement. Well, that is okay. It's all right. Not that great. She gets. It's going to be helpful if we decide we don't want to play the act card, but the first ones are usually pretty straightforward. And she gets to roll her 4 dice. Man, gosh, I'm wasting these good rolls showing you how things work. She's got these. Her special, her 2 token special item here is Bat Cycle. It says once per active hero step, Batgirl may discard one of her tokens when doing kicks and punches to make movement free and to increase the damage she deals by 6. That's pretty hefty. So if she does this kicks and punches ability, which she can do multiple times around, that's why there's 4 open slots on it with no dice. It's the die value +2, whatever that is, and damage. She gets to add 6 to that damage if she uses one of her tokens. We'll definitely be saving that for a special event. So anyway, Batgirl's got some cool abilities too. Rooftop Assault, Woman's Intuition, and Throw Batarang. So while Batman's Throw Batarang is one of his special tokens and does a lot more than that, she also has Batarang. This is when activated by placing a 2 die, Batgirl defeats 1 villain from each stack on her battlefield. So she nails them all and gets them all down. Let's do this. Okay, boom. Let's see what she gets. There's 1. We'll cut it. 2. Now you only have one of these active in a act. So this is the only one that will be active this act. So surprise attack, each time you place a 6 die, gain 1 bat signal point. Wow, we can get a lot of bat signal points. We got the thing from Alfred. I don't think I want to do that though. Bat cycle assault. When activated by placing a 6 on this card, move to any battlefield, non-rooftop, and defeat the tallest villain stack at that location. I mean, we could clear villains pretty handily with that, I think. We already have a way to get bat signals, so I think we'll do this one. The bat cycle assault. There we go. Good on ya. Back roll. Okay, that's one of the parts of setup that we need to do. Then we need to actually do our act setup card. Now I got to remember back roll special ability in that as well. So you have a choice. You can shuffle and draw the act cards, or you can simply roll on this dice. And it just shows the special ability of the act that you can do on there. I think we're going to shuffle and draw. I like that better. But I'll put these aside. Maybe we'll switch back and forth in between acts and use the card or shuffle and draw. Anyway, here are the act cards. I'm going to do a quick little... I haven't played this that much, so it really doesn't matter which one it is. We'll see. We'll take the middle. Okay. Destructive mobs. I've seen this one in some playthroughs I watched. And what does this mean? So these two are going to go back. They will not be used in the game, so we're just going to take them out of the game, put them in the box for another game. I could switch it out, but this one's actually pretty straightforward, and since we have all this ability to take out enemies, I think I kind of like this one. So what we have to do is we have to fill these in. You can see it's got a number of 5s that we have to put in place. You can only use hero dice. That means you can't use bonus dice. Bonus dice are these white dice. It says, if not defeated, destroy a building automatically. We're just going to blow up a building. So that's not good. So there's a bunch of destructive mobs in the first act running around Gotham City. They've been taunted by some villains, whatever the case may be. And so the first thing we look at is how many heroes do we have? We're going to have 3. So we're going to put out 2 story cards. We'll do that next. We're going to have 5 masterminds on the battlefield and 10 villains. Remember, masterminds are actual baddies, and the masterminds tell you where they go based on their cards. So we're going to do this in kind of order as we finish setting up, but this will be our card. I'm just going to put this above the Gotham City track. Now, the first thing we need to do with 3 heroes is get 2 Act 1 story cards. So this shows you how much variability there is in here. It's pretty cool. I wonder if this gives you some alternatives. Let's see. Just curious. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's see. So we're going to do the destructive mobs. Maybe those events are slightly different. I need to review that. Okay, it says the bottom of the action card has the event, but all right. Anyway, oh, Batcave computer. See, it's not on this one, is it? Heroic, no, now or never. Heroic production, rooftop. I don't know. Anyway, it says Batcave computer. You may put 1 additional story card into play to give 1 bonus die to yourself and to 1 other hero. We'll think about that depending on the story cards that come out. Let's see what we get. We're going to have 2 of them to start. The first one is going to be Flames of Fear. This looks like a scarecrow thing. If not defeated, roll a die. On a 1 to 5, we're going to move the explosion token 1 space to the left. That's bad. Remember, if it goes to 0, we lose. 6. If we roll 6, move the explosion token 2 spaces to the left. While active, heroes that move onto the rooftops become wounded. So we can't go on the rooftops until this has been defeated. And we need a 5, and a 6. And this basically denotes the number of players in the game. So I think we'll take a look at that, but I want to make sure that I think we just need the 1-4 to defeat it. We'll see. We only have 3 heroes. We'll see on that. And then we're going to draw another one. And it says Streets of Terror. We need to put 15 plus on here. I don't think it matters. I think we need to get all 3, if I recall. If there are less than 3 heroes defending Gotham City, place 1 bonus die on 5 in this box. If not defeated in the crisis phase, roll 3 dice for the destructive rolls instead of 1. That's really bad, so we got to get rid of that card. So the question is, do I take a bonus die for another one of these, or do I leave it alone? I don't feel confident enough in my abilities at this game, so I think we're going to leave it alone. And that is going to be the setup of our first act right there, so you can see the things that we have to do. Yeah, so I just wanted to point out that on this card, and that's what I thought, this is the number of heroes. So with only 2 heroes, we only need to put a 4 plus on here to solve the Flames of Fear. That's not too bad. And we do have 3 heroes, so we do have to get all 15 points on the Street Terrace, rather. All right, let's put these to the side because we're going to need some room right there because we're going to get to the next step in our setup, which we set up our story cards. Now we're going to set up our masterminds. Our masterminds are these fine folks right here. I'm going to shuffle up. I'm going to draw one. We need to have 5 on the battlefield, correct? Yeah, 5 masterminds and 10 villains. Okay, let's draw our first mastermind. It's going to be Poison Ivy. You can see that she is going to be in the north segment of the city. She has 4. Basically, we need to defeat her with 4 points of damage. Poison Ivy is immune to damage until her plant tokens are defeated. When Poison Ivy appears, this text is really teeny. Draw and place 2 plant tokens on her battlefield. Okay, let's do that. There's Poison Ivy. We're gonna take that extra step right now. Okay, here are her 4 plant tokens. We're gonna shuffle them up. We're gonna draw 2 plants, and those go with her. And she comes with 5 villains. Okay, we'll sort that out in a minute. But right now, let's draw this. The first one is going to be no effects. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that. Sorry, I gotta place these down. We need 2. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're gonna draw that one and that one. Okay. Yep. Okay, let's do that, and those will go on her battlefield. The other thing we have to do with Poison Ivy is draw a few more villains out because she comes with 5, and that will be in addition to the ones that appear later in a story card where you have to place out 10. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple at a time. So we got a ninja, and there's 5 points right there. So that will be it for her. So she's got those 2 with her, and then we're going to draw the rest of them as we go. Heck, I wasn't done there. We need 3 more. Sorry. Looking at points, not the actual villains. Okay, there's a thug. Another thug. That's 3, 4, 1 more. And a henchman. So that's what she comes to the battlefield with. Poison Ivy's pretty tough. Now it's going to go in the north battlefield. Okay, so I'm just going to place them right here to the side. Here are her 2 plants that we have to attack. And then she's got 1 set of thugs. 2, we're going to move this just a little bit over so I can keep it knowing that it's with the north side, and then a ninja. And then we're going to draw our second of the 5 villains or masterminds that we need. So we got Poison Ivy up there, shuffling the heck out of this. Hopefully we don't draw anybody too bad. That was a pretty tough one right there. That's not Talia al Ghul. She's going to be on the south side, so let's take a look at that. She is going right here, and she's going to have 8 villains with her. And basically, I think I know her ability. Her ninjas on her space get a +1 rank, means they're 1 harder to kill. And also, if there are ninjas on her battlefield, they protect her. So here's a handful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more. 8. Well, that's not terrible. So we got 1 ninja, 1 henchman, and a bunch of thugs, a bunch of low-level goonies. But as long as that ninja is in that space, we cannot hurt Talia al Ghul. So that is going to be a priority when we're attacking that space. And that is that. So there's that part right there. That is our next one. Let's draw our next mastermind. Remember that we need 5. So I'm going to do a couple of shuffle cuts. What do we get? Hugo Strange. Okay, he's not so bad. It says, let's see. Heroes cannot use their skill cards or skill tokens while Hugo Strange is active. He's going in the north side, so he's going to be up there with Poison Ivy in the north. Put him up there. I think you can see him up there still. Yes, you can. And he is going to come with just 4 villain tokens. That's not bad. So here's the first 2 henchmen. Wonderful. And they just go on the same stack. They're not specific to the villain there. And then 2 more. 1 thug and 1 so 3 henchmen there. So that's not the safest of areas. There's Hugo Strange. Our next one is going to be, let's see. Now, I'm placing them by what it says up in the corner. So here's a special one. The Joker says south, but he's like nasty. Ugh, this is bad. The Joker may not be attacked from the rooftops. Okay? It says, after attacking the Joker, name 2 numbers and roll a die. If the numbers you selected are, if we get the number, the Joker is defeated. Otherwise, he escapes to another area. So he's down here with Talia al Ghul on the south side. Man, we're just ganging up on the 2 locations. And he's going to come with 7 villains. There's 2 more thugs there. Obviously, we know where we have to focus our attention. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. So there's 1 more. So 3 more henchmen and a ninja. Of course, Joker would come with some pretty powerful forces, right? And another thug there. Okay. And that's 4. So we need 1 more to come out. Let's see what we get here. God, that's Joker. That's nasty. Let's hope we defeat him. Scarecrow. He's going on the east side. So he will go way the heck over here. I'm just going to push these aside. We don't need them right now. So now he's got a special too. I should read that before I put it down. I can definitely not read it from there. I can barely read it when it's right in front of me. When Scarecrow appears, each hero on the battlefield must move to an adjacent battlefield. Good thing we haven't placed our heroes yet, because in the first round you do that last. In this first round, all thugs, henchmen, and ninjas at Scarecrow's battlefield have +1 rank, and he's getting 7 villains, so he's pretty tough too. So let's get 7 villains out for him. 1, 2, well, there's 4. 4 thugs, that's good. He's now rank 2 thugs because of that. There's 4 thugs, 3 more to go. Shuffle them up. A ninja. It's 5. 2 more. And a thug and a henchman. Okay. But that's not all. So those are all our masterminds. They are down. They're causing us a lot of grief already, but they're down. And now we have to actually place our regular henchmen. There are villains, rather. There are 10, and we always start with the north. So we're going to place out 10 tokens. We're going to go around 10 times, or basically enough times to place out 10 tokens, starting with the north. So they're going to get a thug up in the north. We don't need to focus on that, do we? I guess we do. So 1 thug went up north. This whatever I'm drawing here, henchman is going to the east. A thug is going to the south, and a henchman is going to the west. That's 4. 5th one up north, another thug. 6th one up north, or up to the east rather, is another thug. South, thug. Good, we're drawing lots of thugs. We can take them out massively. And another henchman here. That's 8, so I got 2 more to go. 1 up north and 1 east. Thug. Lots of thugs up there. To the east we have another thug. And south we got a thug. Okay, there is our setup for this round. Whew, okay. The top priority is going to be Hugo Strange, I think, up north, because he keeps us from using our tokens and our card abilities. So we got to remember that one. I'm going to have to check these villains frequently because they're spread around the table. But it does say heroes cannot use their skill cards and skill tokens while Hugo Strange is active. All right. Well, he's got to go then, doesn't he? Okay. So what would happen now? This has been a rather long video because we did all the setup. So what would happen now is that we would start with our hero phase. And what we're going to do in our hero phase is we're going to roll dice. The first step is the roll dice step. Then we're going to activate our heroes 1 dice at a time, going round and round and round until we're complete, having either defeated the act card and the two story cards we have out currently. If we don't defeat them, then there's going to be some downside to that. In the case of destructive mobs, we're going to immediately destroy a building if it's not defeated. And we do have the Batcave computer. You may put 1 additional story card. Oh, we didn't do that. We did not do that to give yourself and a bonus die to ourselves and one other hero. I didn't want a 3rd story card out, so we did not take that option. All right, that's basically it for the setup, guys. That's basically going to be it for this video. We got a lot to do. I'm not too worried about the east and the west. Well, we got 3 areas with lots of henchmen or masterminds in them. We got to take them down quickly, so we'll see what happens when we start our adventure. The destructive mobs have hit Gotham City, led by the Joker and Talia al Ghul, the Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, and Hugo Strange all at once. Man, they just come out like crazy. But remember, we're going to have to do this through multiple acts, so we'll see how this goes. Now, if we haven't cleared everything or enough of everything by the end of the act, then we are going to suffer consequences like destroyed buildings, destroyed block locations, which are going to get us closer to the end of the game. Luckily, we did take some serious damage bonuses like Robin's Rage and Batgirl's Bat Cycle. So I think we'll end by placing some heroes into the locations battlefields we're going to need them at. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to send Batman, the Batman himself, to Yeah, we're going to send him up north. I'm looking at his abilities right here. Yeah, we're going to start him on the north battlefield. So we'll put him right there. I think we're going to start Robin on the east battlefield over here with Scarecrow. And we'll have Batgirl come and start to take the south battlefield here. That way when we play, when we get going, we'll just start with the dice rolling and get that going. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this setup video. There's a lot going on in the game, but we are ready to go and start beating down thugs and villains with our heroes. And there's a lot that can happen during a full act, which you'll see. So take care. I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.